Today we learn about divisibility rules for 10, 5 and 2. We learned some rules of divisibility in class 6. You can pause the video and read them from the table shown below. Have you ever wondered how the divisibility rules helps to determine the divisibility of a number, or how does these rules work? In this video, we will learn about the divisibility rules for 10, 5 and 2. Let's talk about the divisibility rule for 10. The divisibility rule for 10 tells us that if the ones digit of a number is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. For example, 10, 50, 230, 4500, etc. All these numbers are divisible by 10. Let's understand how this rule works. Suppose we take a number like this, in which A is at 1's place, B is at 10's place, C is at 100's place, and these dots tells us that there can be more digits to the left of C. We can write this number in general form like this. We know that numbers 10, 100, etc. are multiples of 10. That is, when they are divided by 10, the remainder is 0 in each case. Therefore, we can say that all these numbers shown will also be divisible by 10. Since these numbers are divisible by 10, their sum will also be divisible by 10. Thus, we can say that this number will be divisible by 10 only when the digit A is also divisible by 10. Can you find the digits divisible by 10 among all these digits? Think. You are right. In these numbers, 0 is only digit which when divided by 10 gives the remainder 0. Rest of the digits, if divided by 10, does not give remainder 0. So, only 0 is the digit which is divisible by 10. No other digit is divisible by 10. This means this number is divisible by 10 only when A is 0. But A is on a unit place. This means that when the ones place digit of a number is 0, only then the number is divisible by 10. Now, let's know about the law of divisibility by 5. This rule tells us that when ones digit of a number is either 0 or 5, the number is divisible by 5. Let's know how this rule works. Suppose we take a number like this. We can write this number as follows. We see that all these numbers are divisible by 10. Since these numbers are divisible by 10, their sum will also be divisible by 10. Since 10 is a multiple of 5, we can say that this sum will also be divisible by 5. Thus, the divisibility of this number by 5 depends on ones digit of the number. If A is divisible by 5, only then number will be divisible by 5. But 0 or 5 are only digits which are divisible by 5. Any other digit is not divisible by 5. In this way, we can say that if the ones digit of a number is 0 or 5, the number is divisible by 5. Now, let's talk about the law of divisibility by 2. This rule tells us that if the ones digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, the number is divisible by 2. Why? Let's discuss. When the numbers such as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, etc. are divided by 2, give the remainder 0. Such numbers are even numbers. But when numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 are divided by 2, does not produce the remainder 0. We call such numbers as odd numbers. At the ones place of even numbers, we see that there is one of the digit from 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. But in case of odd numbers, the ones digit is 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9. Suppose a number is like this. We can write this number as follows. We have learned that all these numbers are divisible by 10. Since these numbers are divisible by 10, their sum will also be divisible by 10. Since 10 is a multiple of 2, we can say that the sum will also be divisible by 2. In this way, if this number is divisible by 2, then it must be an even number. That means there will be digit 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 at the ones place of the number. So we say that if the ones digit of the number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, the number is divisible by 2. Now you must have understood the divisibility rules for 10, 5 and 2. Today we have learned about divisibility rules for 10, 5 and 2. In the next video, we will see some examples related to this. Today we will see some examples related to divisibility rules for 10, 5 and 2. Nisha assumed a number in her mind. She divided it by 2. On dividing, the remainder was 1. If the ones digit of the number is greater than 7, what is the ones digit? Suppose Nisha took the number p in her mind. The remainder obtained from the division p divided by 2 is 1, which means that 2 does not divide p completely. From the divisibility rule for 2, we can say that 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8 cannot be at the ones digit of p. This means that 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9 can be at the ones place of p, but we are given another restriction that the ones digit of p is greater than 7. We know that a digit greater than 7 can be 8 or 9, but since 8 cannot be present at ones digit, so we can say that the ones digit of p will be 9. Next example. Is the number 13x5 divisible by 2, 5 and 10 if x is a digit? The divisibility rule for 2 tells us that if the digit at ones place of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then the number is divisible by 2. As we can see, the number has 5 at its ones place, which is not a digit from 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. So this number is not divisible by 2. Similarly, the divisibility rule for 5 tells us that if the ones digit of a number is either 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Since the ones digit of the given number is 5, so this number is divisible by 5. Similarly, the divisibility rule by 10 tells us that if the ones digit of a number is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Here, the ones digit of the number is not 0, so this number is not divisible by 10. Next example. The 4-digit number 684x has x at its ones place. If this number is divisible by 2 and 5, find the value of x. We are given that 684x is divisible by both 2 and 5. The divisibility rule for 2 tells us that if the ones digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then the number is divisible by 2. In this way, we can say that the number to be divisible by 2, the value of its ones digit, that is x, must be 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. Similarly, the divisibility rule for 5 tells us that if the ones digit of a number is either 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. In this way, the ones digit in the given number, that is, the value of x, can be 0 or 5. If we look at both the conditions, we will find that 0 is common among them, or we can say that both the conditions are satisfied when the value of x is 0. So, we can say that the value of x will be 0 and the 4-digit number will be 6840. Let's verify this. If we divide 6840 by 2, the quotient is 3420 and the remainder is 0. Similarly, if we divide 6840 by 5, the quotient is 1368 and the remainder is 0. Since the remainder is 0 in both cases, we can say that 6840 is divisible by both 2 and 5. That is, our answer is correct. Here is a question for you. If a number is divisible by 2 and 5, is it divisible by 10? Today we have seen some examples related to divisibility rules for 10, 5 and 2. Some more interesting examples will be seen in the next video. Today we will see some more examples related to divisibility rule for 10, 5 and 2. A 5-digit number 32A4x has x at its ones place and a at its hundreds place. If the number is divisible by 2, 5 and 10, what is the value of a and x? We are given that 32A4x is divisible by 2, 5 and 10. Since both 2 and 5 are factors of 10, any number which is divisible by 10 will also be divisible by 2 and 5. So, here we can find the answer by using the rule for divisibility by 10 only. The given number will be divisible by 10 only if digit at ones place, that is, x, will be 0. Thus, we have found the value of x. Now, can you find the value of a? Try it. Since the divisibility of a number by 10 depends on the digit at ones place, the digits at other places doesn't matter. This means that we can take the value of a as any of these digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Next example. Using the rules for divisibility, put a tick mark in the appropriate field. Let's talk about number 22,176. Divisibility by 2. The rule tells us that if the digit at ones place of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then that number is divisible by 2. Since the ones digit of given number is one of these digits, hence this number is divisible by 2. Divisibility by 5. The rule tells us that if the digit at ones place of a number is 0 or 5, then that number is divisible by 5. Since the ones digit of this number is neither 0 or 5, this number is not divisible by 5. divisibility by 10. The rule tells us that if the digit at ones place is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Here, the digit at ones place is not 0. So, this number is not divisible by 10. Now, complete the table for the other numbers given in the table. So today we saw some more examples related to rules of divisibility by 10, 5 and 2.